Hello, Laura.
Hi, Arab. So nice to be
Oh,
here with you.
I'm thrilled to see you. I missed all of you guys a lot. It's been a while. I couldn't see many of you. How are you? Is everything okay?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Lovely, lovely. Well, thank you for accepting to share your story with others, your journey with PSYCH-K. The reason we are making these video interview series is simply because everybody is so much interested of others' stories and progresses and inspire from them. And that's why we asked you guys to share your own journeys with PSYCH-K. Thank you again for accepting it. Let's start with a very simple question. How did
Mhm.
PSYCH-K find you? How did you come across with PSYCH-K?
Hmm. Very interesting. I'll make this brief. I heard about it probably around 10 years ago. Heard about it. Oh, sound interesting, but just probably wasn't ready for it. I used to have a podcast. I interviewed Bruce Lipton on my podcast, and he kept talking about how it's changed his life. And I kind of made the connection, and I thought, this is a man who I admire so much, who's so well known, and he swears by this process. And it just piqued my curiosity to go and try it. And the timing was right. It was just like I was open to it, signed up for the basic workshop. And as you know, since you were my instructor, that changed everything. Within the first few hours of the first day, every single fiber in my body said this was for me. This was the work
Wow,
I'm supposed to be doing.
wow, beautiful,
So I felt,
beautiful. Let's say someone comes to you and they ask you, what is this thing you call PSYCH-K? What would be your answer? How do you define PSYCH-K?
well, it actually happens a lot. So
Of course.
um, I I give people the very simple short definition, and then see if they want to actually know more. And it's basically a way to communicate directly with the subconscious mind to transform past trauma or stress triggers, and also to not necessarily reprogram, but rewrite limiting beliefs or replace beliefs that may be holding them back with more empowering ones. And that's basically my basic broad definition. And if they're really curious to know more, then I go into what really lights me up is the health and wellness aspects and the potential that it has to completely transform your life in so many levels. That's where I really get excited.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what has changed in your life? Maybe in different aspects, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, body-wise. What did
Uh,
Laura transformed with
Oh
PSYCH-K?
my God. Oh my God. When people ask me that question, like, how has your life changed? I basically say, how hasn't my life changed? Uh, just to give you one simple example, from the beginning, I used to have issues with sleep. And sleep is something a lot of people struggle with. And what they don't realize is that there's so many layers to it, right? So there's the actual physical ability to sleep, but then there's the stories we have about sleep, the stress about, will I be able to sleep tonight? Or if I wake up. So that was something that I transformed. I balanced very early on to that it's easy for me to sleep, to, the quality of sleep, but also that transforming the stress around sleeping, and about if I wake up, I fall back to sleep. And that was like instant. That was just like that. I saw right away, life changing, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one of the physical things. In terms of spiritually, I've never felt more connected, not only to my higher self and source, but to the collective. And that's something that I think is apparent right away. You just, once you tune in, like you realize you're connected to everything. You realize the field, you know. Um, and just in terms of my intuition, which is really interesting, I've always been very, very intuitive, but it's off the charts now. And I trust it fully.
I call that process remembering what you are,
Yeah,
actually, in this
yeah,
in this creation. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Another thing I want to bring up, which is really, really important, and one of the most powerful balances I've ever done with myself, which I've shared with many clients, is I am at peace with uncertainty.
Wow.
And because life is uncertain. And after I balanced for that, I started noticing in hindsight things that used to trigger me. I just didn't care. And I just say, oh my God, who am I? Like things that would normally like get me going, I would just, you know, like, okay.
Oh my God, my control freak self is no longer there.
It's just, or how am I going to figure this out next month, you know, whatever. And it's just like, you know, so that was huge. So just being at peace in general, just knowing that you have control and you have a process to transform anything that may come up for you is extremely empowering.
Yeah, that's more or less the same story with me too. I mean, that was deep. That was the biggest transformation. I mean, really trusting the process and like try, rather than trying to control things, go with them. And I'm still improving on it.
Yeah.
Still there's room for improvement. Yeah. And but it's a very, very interesting journey. You're right. Another question just like popped in my mind. As someone who has been actually working as a professional in this self-transformation field, so to say, when you heard about PSYCH-K, did you have any question marks or hesitations? And before you signed up for the course, for example, did you have any like doubts or anything?
First of all, I didn't really know what to expect, because one of the things that's so interesting about it, as you know, is that you can't go online and really find much about it. You can kind of, you know, get information, but you can't see it. So you don't really know. I'm just very curious. Just my nature is very curious. So when I signed up for it, I was just completely open. So I may not be the norm in this. Some people may have expectations far surpassed my expectations. I feel really fortunate that, like, I mean, this is not about, you know, all about you, but it is, because I feel so incredibly grateful that you were my instructor. What, how many, 3 times, right? I just feel so blessed. And that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it. And we had such a fabulous group, you know, it's the connection. I had no reservations whatsoever. I was completely open to whatever the experience was going to be. And I was blown away from day one. So
I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear it. Beautiful. So as we know that you're working professionally and working with many clients out there, if you allow us, we would love to share your contact details as well for those who would like to reach out to you for their own transformations or for whatever reason they want for help. And thanks again. This was an amazing opportunity for us actually to let everyone know our side of the curtain, if you know what I mean. I mean, your stories are so valuable. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. And I think it is so important because, you know, this is a unique process that we're able to do it with ourselves. You know, so many professionals are trained in a process that they use with their clients, but they don't have the access to use it with themselves. So when we're speaking about our experience, it's really heartfelt and it's really authentic, and people see that and they see your passion and they want it. Like, that's the biggest thing, is that people are like, oh my, you're different in the best possible way. So I could talk about this forever.
I know.
Thank
Don't
you.
we all? Thank you for the opportunity, Laura. Hope to see you very soon.
I hope to see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye then.